This is the Transformers Generations Age of the Primes Deluxe Class, one of the 13, Solus Prime. My wife picked it up from Robo. Figure looking pretty good. This is one of the figures I was most excited for the first waves of Age of the Prime figures. Let's get her out of packaging. And here is Solus Prime out of the box, and the figure looks terrific. I posed her straight out of the packaging, haven't even transformed her, and I already have a good feeling about this figure. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 14 centimeters tall, or about 5.5 inches tall. For comparisons, he is with Leader Class, Earthrise Kingdom, Dramatic Capture Series, Optimus Prime, and his fellow Prime, one of the 13, Voyager Class Prima Prime. Here she is with a couple of Deluxe Class figures from the Generations line. We've got the Myth, the Legend, the G1 Legacy United G1 Optimus Prime, and we have the Thrilling 30, or the Takaratomi Transformers Legends Generations Thrilling 30 Deluxe Class RC. So the figure does come with some accessories. She's got the forge of Solus Prime, obviously her forge, and it comes apart in 3 pieces. You've got the main handle, you've got the mallet or the hammer itself, and you've got this. I don't know what this is because the instructions tell you that she can actually hold this, and then you can have her hold the hammer or the forge. It's called the forge because Solus Prime was the prime that actually made or forged the artifacts, the Cybertronian artifacts, including the Enigma of Combination, the Cog of Transformation, all of that. They've just been told in different stories, but it's always been Solus Prime who was really building all these artifacts. And she has 2 artifacts to her name. She's got the forge, and she's got the creation lathe. And a lathe, if you know what a lathe is, it's a device where you put either metal or wood and it spins around, and you have a tool, you can do some intricate designs on it. That's usually what a lathe is. In baking, we do that for molding chocolate. You can mold, you can design and shape a chocolate by having that thing spin around. You put chocolate and it spins and you carve. That's what a lathe is. In Cybertronian form, it's like a holographic projection that she has, which she uses to lay out and map out how she's going to build her artifact. So I don't know if this is that, the lathe, the creation lathe, or one of the cogs or whatever. The hammer or the forge does appear to be small. It's proportionate to her scale. So for somebody this size, this is a good sized hammer or a good sized mallet or forge. But we've seen the forge wielded in other cartoons like Transformers Animated or Transformers Prime. And in a comic book, it's always like this huge forge, huge hammer. And this one just doesn't seem to fit that kind of scale, hugeness, bigness type of forge. So I'm a little bit surprised they went small with it. Maybe this has mass shifting capabilities. Whoever wields it, the thing just increases in size or decreases in size depending on who wields it, okay? Also, just like the Star Saber, the weapon that this Prime comes with has the insignia or the emblem or the faction symbol of the Prime who owns it. So this is Solus Prime's insignia. That's probably my main comment about the weapon, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Now, let me just talk about aesthetics. They've taken inspiration from a lot of the designs of Solus Prime, but mostly from the comic books. So this is like an artist's rendition. You see the hammer, very similar, or the forge, very similar to this. But again, this thing's too busy for me. I'm glad they went with this one. Here she is with Megatronus. Man, I didn't even know, spoiler alert, Megatronus and Solus I didn't know they were an item. And out of jealousy and rage or madness, somehow Megatronus kills her. We see a silhouette of her in Transformers Prime. You see the forge, it's huge. IDW, you can see where the inspiration comes from. A lot of purples and grays, and you see that waist cape. This is the artist rendition for the Transformers 1 universe. You see the forge is very similar. I mean, you get the idea where the inspiration comes from if you read up on the comic books. So let's dive into the quality of plastic. No complaints on the plastic per se. All the bits, although they look like their Studio Series quality. They are not. They are legacy, premium quality, very, very solid. You can hear the trill of the plastic. It's really a solid type of plastic. Even these bendy bits, yeah, they look cheap, but when you have them in hand, they kind of feel premium and solid. So I'm happy with that. My biggest issue in terms of quality for this figure is mostly assembly, how they put together the figure and how they engineered the figure to be put together. So the first thing you will notice is these tabs right here when you try and transform her. They are on friction joints that love to pop off. They're made of quality, durable plastic, but the way they've been engineered, they just tab on as friction joints and they love to come apart. So it is annoying when you're transforming her because it is a very difficult stage of transformation for the arms, which I'll show off later. The other bit of quality control that I've noticed, at least on my copy, are the ankles. Because when I got her out of packaging, the right ankle had come undone like this. And every time you rotate the ankle, it loves to come off. These bits, they love to just come undone and pop off every time you rotate. If you rotate it this way, it's fine, and this way, but if you rotate in the other direction, it loves to come undone. As far as articulation goes, the neck is on a ball joint. You've got a waist swivel. Shoulders go in and out. She's got some pauldrons that actually are on hinges because of transformation. The elbows, we got a bicep swivel, or I guess elbow swivel. The elbows hinge 90 degrees. You got ball jointed wrists. Hips. This is a nice way to cover up that space right there. There's no locking mechanism for the hinges on the hips. The hips can go kick up forward and backward. They can do the splits. You got a thigh swivel, very akin to the Blur thigh swivel, but this time it doesn't stretch all the way up to the top part of the hip. So there's not much obstruction going on. So I do like that. The knees are on hinges that bend 90 degrees. And as mentioned earlier, the ankles are on these flimsy swivels. And the feet, they got rocker tilts. As far as paint apps go, I'm pretty happy. The gold metallic highlights are pretty spot on this figure. We got some silver highlight metallic paint apps there. Very nice. Makes the figure look very premium. We got gold highlights here and there. One thing you will notice though is the purples don't match. The torso purples and the hip purples and forearm, they're like light purple. And then these things, the pauldrons, the waist cape, the ankles, they're kind of made of this dark McDonald's grimace type of Decepticon purple. So I don't know if it's on purpose that they did that just to give this figure some character, but it would have been nice if they did match. Finally, onto that head sculpt. I'm loving this head sculpt, very comic book inspired. So let's transform her into her alt mode. Robot mode, the forge will store on her rear end. So take that off, set it off to the side. First thing you want to do is you want to unpeg her backpack. And you want to lift it so that you've got enough clearance to fold out the front grille of the vehicle. Once you've done that, the neck is going, or the head sculpt is going to fold back, and the whole front part, the hood of the car is going to fold over the head sculpt. You want to just pop the shoulders forward, this, and then the arms, you want to open up these flimsy flaps right here, and then fold the fists, and then just rotate like this. See that these are sort of like the side parts of the car. So do the same on the other side. That, and then fold in the wrists. Rotate this waist assembly. For the waist cape, the instructions, they depict like 5 steps to do this part of the transformation. What it says is you want to fold up these side parts, you want to rotate the middle part, slip it in between the side parts, and then rotate it back. So 5 steps to transform that. But newsflash, Hasbro, you can do it in 1 step. Okay, fine, I get it. They were trying to make it idiot-proof, so okay. But really, you don't have to do all that trouble. All you have to do is just pop it up, and voila. It's done. I don't know. I'm not complaining, though. It's fine. The wheels are going to pop out, and then you're going to fold the feet up. Just make sure those ankles are still intact, and then fold back the wheels. And then you rotate the wheels outward, okay? And then just make sure they don't rotate away or pop off, okay? And then you want to fold the lower calves or upper ankles. And then you want to rotate and then fold up the the knees. Backward, you see that slot right there. There's a tab right there that's going to just tab into that. It's not a perfect, like you fold it up and then it automatically tabs in. You gotta find that sweet spot. You gotta find where it's supposed to tab in and kind of manipulate and finagle till you get that spot. Is that it? No, it's supposed to. Okay, there we go. And then do the same on the other side. I guess the rocker tilts were in the way, so just do the same. I mean, it's not the smoothest transformation, but it's there. You see this tab right here? It is going to tab the feet together and the legs together, and then they're just going to stay right there. And then these waist cape pieces, they're going to stay and fold like this, and that's sort of the rear end completed. Okay, and now the final step is really the arms. You want to fold first the hood, the roof piece. Just get it lined up so that you know where things go. And then you need to do the pauldrons first. Okay, you want to stretch it out. Use the double hinge to fold it over the shoulder assembly. These bits right here, they're going to rotate outward like that. And what you need to do is you need to scoot these thin flaps right there to form sort of like the door. So let me try and show it off with this arm first. So go ahead and fold, rotate all the way over and squeeze. So you gotta squeeze that flap right there. Right there. If you can do that, then you're in good shape, okay? And then this thing, the grill, is going to tab onto one of the pauldrons, okay? Now repeat that with this one. You want to bend those double hinges, scoot that thing over, and then just under the windows. So just do that. There you go. I hope that wasn't as clear as mud. I hope that was clear enough for a lot of you. And then just tab them onto the grill, and essentially you're almost done. That's the hard part. If you can do that, then you're fine. Okay, now all that's left is tabbing the arms, and it's okay if these doors, these flaps, they fly off. They really do that, and I think it's a safety issue. Had they put some pins in there, I wish they could have put some pins in there. That would have made it very stable, but I guess to prevent breakage, they had to make that like a friction joint. So do the same here on this other side. You line up that arm onto that notch right there. So just line it up, and then these door flaps, they're gonna tab onto the side part of the car. Okay, and then all that's left is really trying to align the wheels so that they're like flat on the ground. Because if one of them is just skewed, she's not gonna roll flat. So this way, I think we've done it. Yeah, all the wheels roll flat. That is her alt mode. It's sort of a mix of Energon Rodimus. It kind of looks like that, with some Cybertronian rear end. And then the forge, there is a tab right here. This will only fit on one side. You can obviously plug it here, but you'll have to plug it facing the rear end. It's not gonna look as great. Instructions tell you to just plug it here on this side. Acts like a sort of pseudo blaster, and it really conforms to the contour of the vehicle. So yeah, it's a very, very nice compact transformation. It can be difficult, particularly the arms. It took me forever, like a good 15-20 minutes to figure out how to do that. Once you figure it out, it's pretty satisfying. And now some comparisons in alt mode. We've got a typical Legacy Generations figure. We've got Legacy Selects Hound. And we've got the Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. She is on the small-ish side in terms of scale. And so some final thoughts on this Age of the Primes Solus Prime. I really enjoyed this figure. I thought it was a very strong figure for this wave. My main issues really is the quality of assembly. I wish they could have made some changes, maybe some modifications to make the ankle rotation a much stable, a much fixed type of assembly, as well as the friction joints of those flaps on her forearms. But other than that, I thought it was a very solid figure. The engineering, the transformation was very satisfying if you do it properly. I thought the look of her was very, very good. I love that they really got inspiration from the comic books. I love the colors, despite the mismatched purple. I thought it was pretty good. As far as the accessories go, I kind of wish they'd given her a bigger forge, but I guess they were going for proportions. I'm pretty sure DNA Design is already fast at work with an upgrade kit for this figure, and I cannot wait for that. So the figure will get a 9.5 out of 10. It's not going to get a perfect score because of those assembly issues, but it's a very, very strong figure. If you're into these 13 primes, this is one figure to get. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class, one of the 13, Solus Prime. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.